Welcome folks, this is Wear and Tear, yet another YouTube outdoor and gear review channel. Now today I want to show you a very interesting flashlight, the brand new SofirnC8F. It's a C8 type light. Here is another C8 type light, also from Sofirn, the C8A. This one gives you about 1800 lumens, or I would even say 2000 lumens. This one is supposed to go up to 3500 lumens. It's a multi-emitter light. Both are 18650 flashlights, so they take 18650 batteries like this one or this one or this one. But the Sofirn C8F also takes 21700 lithium-ion rechargeable battery. This is this cell. So later in the day I will go to the woods and I'll test these lights out, see how much light they actually put out in the real world conditions, because with white wall shots alone you cannot really do those those lights justice, because when you are way beyond the 1000 lumen range it's really difficult to tell the differences. Now this is the Armortech Doberman. I'll also take this one to the woods. Just those three lights I will compare. This is my EDC light that I take on the night duties, and these are lights that you typically would put maybe in a jacket pocket or something if you really need a lot of light, and if you need very good heat dissipation, if you need good range. I have presented the C8 line of flashlights like a few months ago. C8 lights are produced by many manufacturers. They're around since probably 10 years or so. It's a very nice pocket-sized flashlight design that still gives you a lot of output and good heat dissipation. Those lights are always water resistant. They never have a problem. I don't know why that is. It's also part of the design. I did test the Sofirn today already extensively. It's 100% water resistant. The only problem that is possible, especially with some manufacturers, not Sofirn, is the side switch. It's not an issue. So perfectly water resistant, like this one too. Did a review on this one. So you might notice that I have a stainless steel bezel on the C8F. I moved my stainless steel bezel from the C8A to the C8F because I like to have a stainless steel bezel on C8 lights that I intend to use, because just if you drop the light, this is much more, it protects the light much better, and it also looks cool, especially with the ring here. So invest a few years in a stainless steel bezel. I'll put the link in the description in case you're looking for one. Typically it's Banggood or Gearbest that has them. Now we have a dual switch interface here. We have an electronic side switch that also shows you the battery status, approximate battery status, and we have a tail switch with momentary on. So that's not a reverse clicky, it's a forward clicky. Those are the better ones in my opinion. Now the battery tube is a little bit thicker, of course, than with a standard C8 light, because it takes those bigger batteries. Sofirn gives you a battery tube in case you want to use 18650 batteries with the C8F. You don't have to use that battery tube. You don't have to carry it outdoors. It's one item that you don't really need. And Sofirn also offers a package with the battery and with this charger. These chargers are a little bit slower. I prefer to use a 90-core charger, of course. So what else is there to say about this light besides the fact that it looks good and promises a lot of output? Yeah, it has 4 different mode groups. So it's a multi-mode flashlight with not just different modes, but with different mode groups. It has in group 1, it has only 2 different modes, but I use mode group 4 because mode group 4 is the one that makes the most sense to me, with it being a dual switch flashlight, because it has stepless dimming. What you do, you control the stepless dimming with the side switch, and you control it like a wave. Okay, it goes brighter and then it grows dimmer. So up and down, and when you have reached the maximum output, it confirms it with a short flicker. It has a real moonlight mode, 1 lumen, and that is very accurate. There is no cell in this flashlight right now, that's why I can't show you the moonlight mode. I'll do all the beam shots and stuff later. So yeah, it has full mode memory, also with the dimming. Sofirn generally does the stepless or the ramping. Sofirn does that very well. It's a brilliant user interface also on their other lights that have the ramping. So to me, I prefer flashlights that come with as little switches as possible, but ramping is a nice function, and for ramping it makes sense to have an electronic side switch. Now the reason why you want to have a tail switch is because this is a mechanical switch, so it has electronic switches always have a parasitic drain. That means there's always a little bit of current going through those switches, and that means they very slowly, but they will discharge the batteries, so they're never suitable for long-term storage. Now with a mechanical switch, a flashlight is suitable for long-term storage. Besides that, a tail switch gives you it's just better for operation for a flashlight that is a duty flashlight. The tail switch is always better. I prefer it. I could tell you why, but it's not the point here of this review. The SofirnC8F gives a very good first impression. Also comes with a lanyard, by the way. So it has all the electronic gimmicks that you want. On top of it, it's temperature controlled. We'll see whether that is true, but the manual says it's temperature controlled. Now, yeah, it has a lens that is anti-reflective, so it's one of those better glass lenses. Like with this one, I don't think it is. It has that coating. So Sofirn has, over the last year, has stepped up their manufacturing quality. Before it was a good budget light, but now with the Sofirn lights, I really can't tell a lot of difference to a Phoenix light or their Nightcore. I'm not even talking about Nightcore, but they're really close to Phoenix light and other very high quality manufacturers, and for budget price. With a code you pay like 40 euros for this light. Anyways, before we continue talking, let's just go outdoors once it's dark, of course. Right now the sun is still up, and then when the batteries are fully charged and then when it's dark, we do some testing on those lights. First, the C8A, that's the dedicated thrower on max mode, about 1800 to 2000 lumens. That's a considerable amount of light. And then the big flashlight, the C8F. Now the C8F well, shows you a whole lot more details. Doesn't reach S4, but you can see the entire slope pretty much. I mean, on camera it's not even as prominent, but with the naked eye you see amazing details. You see the rocks, bushes, every kind of vegetable. Yeah, nice color rendition. It's neutral white, almost a little bit warm, so very good for outdoors. Again, the C8A, that is our thrower. You have a nice hole, throws very far. The light color is also colder than we compare those two. Now, this one is supposed to be 3500 lumens. I'm not quite sure, at least not with this battery, but it should be 2500 to 3000. It's definitely way more than the 1800 to 2000 lumens of the C8A. And the way you can tell it with the naked eye is you just look at this, and now you see the C8A or C8F added a lot more detail, added a lot more light. And now I add the C8A, C8A doesn't add a whole lot to the picture, at least not with the naked eye. You don't really need it. It doesn't add a whole lot more light. It just adds a little spot in the middle, that's all it does. But the C8F really gives me a better vision, gives me a better impression of the whole landscape. So this is a true floodlight. It's not a 100% floodlight, it has quite some throw, also because of the awesome light output. But it is a dedicated floodlight for the most part. Now let's compare that to my Armitech Doberman. About 1300 to 1500 lumens. It appears to be much dimmer than the C8A Sofirn, the floodlight, but it's a much warmer light color. It has a 40-degree angle. It's a very different kind of beam pattern. It's much more throwy. And with the diffuser cap on, I have a diffuser cap for this light. It looks like this. See, it's really just for close range. So that would be an actual. So this is what a diffuser does. Nah? And here without the diffuser, you get this effect. Yeah. And this is the C8A close range. And this is our C8F floodlight. It's so floody the camera doesn't even do it justice. Now, as to the user interface of the C8F, congratulations Sofirn, you got the perfect user interface. I only use it on mode group 4, which is the ramping. So let's ramp it down. This is a true, genuine moonlight mode. It's really just one lumen. Double click, turbo. One click, back to moonlight. Ramp up, ramp down. The ramping is fairly quick, but not too quick. You get all the relevant settings. Triple click, strobe. So strobe is not in the way. You control the ramping like a wave that you can stop at any given time. So the buildup of the wave is stopped now. Now we ramp down again. The tail switch really is a mechanical switch. It's just on and off. Full mode memory, of course, but you can also turn the light on and off with the side switch. The side switch always tells you about the battery status. At 3.4 volts it will give you a red blinking. It also gives you a red blinking, gives you a normal blinking with the primary LEDs, so the flashlight makes sure that you know about the battery status. There is no worry at all that you kill your battery with this light. It will not completely drain your battery. However, it suckles 18650 dry fairly quickly on max mode. It gets really hot. It has an excellent heat sinking system. So it definitely will work better with the bigger cell that Sofirn provides. 18650 cell is a good cell, though. It works with the 18650 cell. You don't need that battery tube, so you always have spare cells handy, even if you have exhausted your 2100-700 cell. That is perfect for that light. It has 4000 milliamps, by the way, so even the best 18650 cells barely have 3500 milliamps. So this is a more powerful cell, but I know there are more powerful 21700 cells that go like at 4500 milliamps. So Sofirn did not provide the best 21700 cell, let's put it that way, but for that price that is very much understandable. It's still a very high capacity cell. The flashlight handles very well. It's very well balanced. It has a little bit of moisture behind the glass. I think it's due to my modification, but it has no real water ingress. Well, I'll
checked out all the O-rings yet again, but the light works without hiccup, and it's a big light, it's a big glass, so condensation can happen, but that's a problem that can be solved over time. Now, you probably wonder whether you should get this light for the outdoors or whether there's any better option. Well, there are always bigger and better lights out there, but for the size and weight and the user interface, this is probably one of the best flashlights that you can get. I mean, with a bigger flashlight, you will start thinking, do I really need that flashlight? It's bulky, shall I pack it? With this flashlight, it fits in any jacket pocket, in any backpack, and you can take it with you. Of course, it is not designed for the hardest of use. For that, our Army Tech would be better. But to have just a very good color rendition in the outdoors and a lot of floodlight, this is a wonderful flashlight that I can highly recommend, especially for the price. Look at this long range footage here. Again, the floodlight, the C8F, and now the thrower. This gives you a good idea of the amounts of light that these lights actually put out, because it's very difficult to tell with the naked eye. In many settings, the floodlight looks brighter than the thrower looks brighter than the floodlight, but in reality, you see much more with the floodlight. It's just an avalanche of light versus a tunnel of high pressure light, so to say. Oh, I'm disturbing the animals. They're already starting to protest. I have to stop these experiments. And we have the Army Tech Doberman, this time with the diffuser cap on. See, it's only close range now. Now with the 40 degrees throw. And here we're talking about 1,500 lumens, right? It really is all about the light, color, and the angle, the pattern. So, well, this was Wear and Tear. I hope you enjoy the review. Over and out.